Alright, hey everyone, this is Nate and this is the Nader Tater channel. So right here I have two units. These are battery powered generators. So no gas, no propane that you have to use. They can tie into solar panels to get power, but otherwise it's basically a big battery bank that you can keep at home, or you can go mobile with it, and you can use this to power either several different appliances or devices, or even connect it to your entire home to further expand the capability of your home in a power outage. Now there are some key differences here. This one is a HomePower 3000 and this is a HomePower 3600 plus. So at the one level they actually have the same amount of power capability output, which is about 3600 watts of continuous power. I think it does 7200 watts of surge power output for these units, but their capacities are slightly different. That number on the end of them, the 3000 for this unit, is means that it's approximately 3000 watt hours of capacity, whereas this one being 3600 means it's about 3600 watt hours of capacity. Another way to think about that is in kilowatts, which is you just divide by 1000. So this one is 3.6 kilowatts and this one's 3 kilowatts. Now that's not all, because this one is designed to be really for a more temporary use, maybe 1 or 2 days of power outage. You want to keep your fridge going for a couple days, this can do that. This one, however, you can actually daisy chain little expander units which give you more battery capacity, and so when you do that, this can go from 3.6 kilowatts hour of power up to about 21 kilowatt hour of capacity, and so you can greatly expand this. That would mean that this could last for days or weeks powering a home, so long as you're very smart with trying to conserve your energy. And then this can also take more solar input than this one as well. And so another cool feature of these units is you can use them kind of like a UPS. UPS means uninterruptible power supply. These ones are slightly interruptible, I guess you would call it. But the HomePower 3000 has about a 20 millisecond delay that it claims, whereas the 3600 Plus has a less than 10 millisecond delay. So a quicker response time, which means your more sensitive devices like computer workstations and whatnot are less likely to notice any changes in that power on this unit because of these faster switching capabilities. So what you would do is you would take the included 110 volt plug here that would plug in to the wall, and then you would then plug in on the front side here the 110 volt outlets that they have, including this 30 amp RV outlet that they have, and you could then have that always plugged in, and then if the power ever did go out, it would be sucking out of the battery, and then as soon as the power came back on, it would just start using the house power again to both power your devices and charge this unit up. And then the other cool thing about the HomePower 3600 Plus is that you can also do the AC expansion port, which allows you to plug in two of these units together, so you get a 220 volt output instead of just the 110 volt output. So that's really how I would say you would most likely connect it up to a whole home. You could even have a transfer switch that those plug into so that it can flip over your grid power to these powers if the grid goes down, or if you wanted to for whatever reason. Now as far as portability goes, the 3000, it weighs about 60 pounds, so I can pick it up, but it certainly is heavy. It's not something you want to carry around a lot. The 3600 I think is a little bit under 80 pounds, so like 77 pounds, but it has a handle that telescopes up, and then it has wheels so that you can very quickly and easily roll this around, which is a very nice feature to have on this, because it obviously makes it easier to bring this out camping or outside or whatever, to move this unit around much easier. And now speaking of moving this around, I did use this on a camping trip this summer, and I actually placed this in the RV, And then both of these have that 110 volt 30 amp RV plug, and this worked great on powering, I think it was like a 32 foot class A RV. It could power the entire thing, other than it does have 2 rooftop mounted ACs. You can only power one of those, and that's really a limitation of, well, both this unit as well as the RV. It wants 50 amp shore power in order to have both ACs running. So otherwise this unit worked great for that, and it would last a long time. In fact, when I set up all the solar panels by themselves could power the RV so long as I wasn't using the AC. And then of course if I kicked on the microwave or something for that short duration the microwave's on, the solar wasn't keeping up, and then you just use a little bit of the battery power. But then otherwise solar could really help lengthen the amount of time that the unit can sustain that power. Alright, so here is the little expansion plug. That just plugs into the side of the unit here, and then this plug would then plug in to the battery pack. So what this one is this is basically the lower half of this guy that doesn't have the brains of the unit. It doesn't have any ports for you to plug into other than for this big guy. And this is one of, I think, 5. You can plug 5 of these in, because this each one is going to give you another 3.6 kilowatt hour of battery capacity. So this one would go up here. Actually, you're not supposed to stack them on top of him. You stack beside them. But then on that other side of the unit, it has a plug that gets plugged in, and that's again how you would stack this up to get more capacity out of the 3600 plus. The 3000 does not allow you to stack like that. So those are kind of some differences to note between these units. Okay, so another important thing, of course, is the price. Now, if you look at the MSRP, now I have a coupon code down below in the video that you can get, and you get a discount on them. They do run sales on these units. If I look at just the MSRP difference, it's about $300 to upgrade to this one. To me, that is well worth it for the extra features that you get. And then if you look at the sale price, again, you can get a good amount of discount off of them with sale price or coupon codes. And again, I still see about a $300 price difference between these two units. But you get the added capability of the expansion on the 3600 that you don't get on the 3000. And then the other thing that's kind of snuck away in the details there is they claim that the 3000 has about 4,000 cycles of lifespan, which is I think where it gets to about 70% of its original capacity, whereas the bigger one has 6,000 cycles. So 50% more life basically out of this bigger unit for an extra 300 bucks. Seems to be a good value to me. So that's the one I would go with. But let me show you a little bit of how I've used these guys out in actual testing. And then of course, if you want to see more in depth about each one, just look down in the video description. I'll have links to in-depth videos of each of these and how I've used them. But I do like the Jackery products. All their stuff has been high quality from what I have tested and what I found, and they all work according to how Jackery advertises them as far as their capacity, their power output, the ease of use. Just plugging these in for solar right out of the box. Basically, you plug it in and the thing's working. So really cool, way easier than my gas generator that I've used in the past, where I'm cranking at it, trying to get it to work and whatnot. I really like these, and I also like that they have the DC outputs for like USB, because that's the most efficient way to take this battery power and move it into things like your cell phones or other USB powered devices. You don't have to convert it to AC and lose that efficiency gain. You can just go directly to DC. So that's what I think of these units. If you have questions about them, please do put it in the comments below. I do read the comments and I do respond to them if appropriate. And as always, give me that thumbs up on this video, and then stay subscribed to my channel so you can see more stuff like this.